It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell, Dinero, and Hugo Twilight.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Lydell, Dinero, and it's AKA in the building. We let the lady step out real quick so we can get into this nerd talk. We're going to talk Boba Fett Chapter 3, Book of Fett, of course. We've been watching weekly, episodically, if you would. Episode 3, man. You want to hop into it and let them know what we saw, or basically quick overview, and get into what we thought about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm be honest that this for some reason I kind of forgot some of the stuff that happened because I watched it a few times and I don't know why I keep forgetting what happened in this one. But I do remember that he started off getting hired by a water seller who was actually played by I can't remember the guy's name, but I know I've seen him in a ton of stuff. Like a lot of
I got you.
huh?
I said, you know what? I got you, player. Go ahead, keep going.
He played in like Adam Sandler movies and stuff, I want to say. But he pretty much was like a swindler, one of them guys that, you is a low life in a way, one of the, just not like the most righteous person.
Mm-hmm.
And he hired, Mandalorian, not Mandalorian, god damn it.
Boba Fett.
He talked Boba Fett into, going and dealing with, some nuisance, some local gang members who were stealing his merchandise, which is just water that he's selling overpriced anyways. And they're all souped up like cyborgs, I guess. Is that what you call them? Yeah. Cyborgs, I guess. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, it was sorry to interrupt. It was Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
Played in Dodgeball, Office Space, a couple
of things.
Yeah,
there we go. Mm-hmm. All those, that guy. He's pretty funny most of the time. So, and this one he was just kind of a jackass, and which was good. It gave Boba Fett the opportunity to build his gang a little bit. Now he got these guys with these fancy ass fucking bikes. Those bikes were fucking killing me.
Yeah, and they're hella slow.
Yeah, but it was like they look like lowriders, from like the ones you see people out here with those big ass hogs, whoever they are.
Yeah.
That's the Star Wars version of them.
Hella colorful. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of crazy, but I mean, they were able to get down. They had hands, so that was good.
And their attachments were cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little episode. It had like a little spurts of action that was good, and it kind of gives you like an idea what direction they're going. Because I mean, I know there's a book. I think there's an actual book of Boba Fett you could read that. I think they're taking a lot of liberties from that book. And mixing them up. I got to go back and check again, but I think that's what's going on. But they're like, it's like loosely, very loosely based on that. They do what the hell they want to when it comes to these Disney shows. But yeah, basically they're going through and like getting characters, and that character, the Wookiee, the Black Wookiee, apparently is already a character. He's already like solidified. I don't know who he is, which is crazy because I know a lot about Star Wars, but I've never heard of him.
I watched some videos on that stuff. It's Black Chrysanthemum. I guess he was he's from the same place as Chewbacca is from, but he got exiled and and he ended up on a planet where he got forced to be like a gladiator or whatever. I think you mentioned this, and he had these fucking brass knuckles and shit, these electric brass knuckles, and a lot of the shit you saw on the show was actually the shit that he had on him while he was becoming this gladiator, this tough guy type shit.
He also became a bounty hunter too, right?
Exactly. Yeah, okay. And I was listening to a podcast, and they were mentioning a list of different bounty hunters that were within the Star Wars universe, because there was a couple, and they all had like little backstories. But they also mentioned, because I know you noticed that indent on Boba Fett's head. You know what that's from because I know you've been watching all the Clone Wars and shit like that. I think that one of the bounty hunters was in that. The blue guy with the cowboy hat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but he has like a deep voice, red eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that put that dent in his head in the you know.
He was actually the one that on the last episode of the one that they just had the cartoon, the Bad Bunch or whatever it is.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch. He was the one that was pretty much the main antagonist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been around.
How many episodes did that shit go?
I want to say like 12, but I can't remember. Well, I didn't really like it that much, to be honest, but it wasn't bad. It was just like a unnecessary story,
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're telling stories that when they have a bunch of other stories that are way better stories they can tell, but they find a reason to tell these because they
People
could
like
did way.
clones.
Yeah, then Clone Wars was good and all. It got better towards the end, but they could have just made a better story for the Bad Batch. But yeah. The actual show though, what the hell is it called again? Boba Fett.
The Book of Fett.
The Book of Fett. Yeah. Now it did good though. They had like nice action. I like the way it went with after that whole scenario went down, and they pretty much caught what was his name again? Black Chrysanthemum.
Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, after they caught him. Once they go outside, the Boba Fett twins, Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt twins, are out there, and that's when they get the what's it called again? A Rancor.
The baby Rancor.
Yeah, and they pretty much just tell him like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to with Black Chrysanthemum.
Black Messiah. What's it? Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, they pretty much like just tell him like, yeah, well, he lost, so he's yours. And he ends up just setting him free, which he looked confused about that. I guess he hadn't been set free in a while.
He got a little run. It was killing me though. A little run.
He got out of that motherfucker. He definitely got out of there. But yeah, I mean, like, it was a decent episode. It was going back and forth. It showed the whole, what happened to the Sand People after he
Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, the Huskin Raiders. My bad, Huskin Raiders. After he taught them, this is bad because I'm a person who knows all about Star Wars and shit. I don't know none of these names, but I mean, I do know them. I just be forgetting the shit. But yeah, like, after he taught them how to, pretty much like defend themselves over there and run down the trains that they come through, they all ended up getting wiped out anyways at the end. So
yeah,
hopefully he'll get some get back with that too.
Yeah, that journey was crazy. How he had to travel. He put that lizard in his nose.
Oh my God, yeah.
And they put him on that journey to get his stick and shit like that. And he finally earned his wraps and shit like that. And he was just going to collect that bounty, that little pay that he earned from like stopping that train, forced those people to pay him. He was going to collect that money. And by the time he got, the people that were supposed to be paying him for the route said that he was paying somebody else as well, and he wasn't going to be extorted by two groups. So basically, he went back to his camp, and he said he'd take care of the other group. And then he went back to his camp, and all the Tusken Raiders were all dead. So like he knew obviously it was a setup to get him to leave the camp so they can wipe out the Tusken Raiders. While they thought there was peace there, or it could have been the Pikes that they were talking about. Who knows? They didn't really specify, but this put him on his journey to go out.
Well, the Pikes, as far as like Star Wars history goes, and like I don't really know much about them. I just know that every time anybody deals with the Pikes, it's always like do it at your own risk, because apparently they like to go to war, they like to fuck shit up.
Right.
And everybody knows this. Like, I think even back when what was it? I want to say Darth Vader and them. I might be wrong. I don't want to quote that because I don't know if I'm right about that. But all I know is every time they ever showed up in any like cartoon or anything, they're always the ones that you don't mess with, the Pike.
Right, and that's kind of why the Jabba twins were like, nah, we don't want war. You can have this baby whatever the shit is called. What is the shit called again?
Rancor.
Baby Rancor. That was accompanied
Yeah.
by Machete. His
Machete.
appearance in the Star Wars universe. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's dope. They giving a lot of people like a chance to get themselves in the Star Wars
Yeah.
universe, no matter how small the role is. You know, I would like. It's fucked up because like where they're going now, they're kind of in an area of Star Wars where there aren't very many Jedi, and
Hmm.
everybody wants to be a fucking Jedi or a Sith Lord. And
Hmm.
there's like that with the Sith Lord shit, there can only be two. There's always a master and apprentice. There can't be more Sith than that. So, there's not very many options for anybody to be a fucking Jedi. So Rosario Dawson got lucky.
Yeah. Got a dope ass role.
Yeah.
A little in between. That's dope. That's really dope. Also, what else? That baby Rancor he got. They're talking about how it locks on the first person it actually sees because it has blinders
Yeah.
on, and they showed us a cool moment of him getting to know the baby Rancor, and he's really peaceful with it, and I think he wants to learn how to ride it, which is pretty
Oh
dope as well.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be his army's getting bigger. I think once he let Black Chrysanthemum go, and he's probably going to come back and help him fight because the Pikes are going to already be there, and he's going to get down with Boba and the 4 upgraded people. They'll have Finnick there and the baby Rancor so far is what we're seeing. So who else will join the army there? We don't know. I don't really know how many episodes they're planning to have. I don't know if it's going to be super long or if,
Yeah.
who knows what's going to happen on that side.
I want to maybe like this. I'm hoping that they at least like have the Mandalorian show up and be like, hey, I'm gonna do a little quick pop pow, kick gas for you, help a little bit, and then bounce the fuck out. But like so far they haven't even, like paid any kind of like mind to anything about Mandalorian.
Right. Yeah.
So
And it's going pretty fast, man. I don't know how much is actually left because I know they're going to go to battle. It's seeming what's going to happen now. They had the chase scene where they were kind of chasing around the mayor's little assistant through the town. He was dipping out and they're causing a bunch of ruckus. We saw a
mhm.
cool little speeder chase, even though it seemed like it was like 1 mile per hour. It was pretty cool, crashing and fucking everything up. And that's where we find out that the mayor also joined the side of the Pikes and isn't
Yeah.
going to pay his tribute anymore. And it's kind of betrayed Boba Fett, so it's time to go to war. These episodes
Yeah.
aren't really very long, so they're kind of concise and they just let you know what's going. Half pretty much flashback, and they get you going into what's currently happening. But it's moving along pretty good. A new episode comes out really soon here. We're going to see what goes on in episode 4. But yeah, we're gonna keep on reviewing that till the end comes. But we love the direction it's going right now. What
I'm
do you
feeling
think?
it.
Any predictions? What's gonna happen next episode? As far besides all these
Uh,
people coming together to make a big army.
yeah, I mean, I have no predictions because you can't always call it with Star Wars. They
Yeah.
do all kind of weird shit sometimes. But I don't know. As long as they just keep going, as long as you got the same people who produced Mandalorian behind the writing of this, I think even if they don't do good, it won't be bad.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're gonna do Star Wars justice because they don't. I don't know, have their own agenda or whatever. Because I feel like when they came out the other Star Wars movies, they were just like, yeah, fuck whatever George Lucas was putting together. We're gonna go ahead and do what we want to do. But what about Luke? Hey, fuck Luke. That's what it felt like. We're gonna
Yeah.
make Luke a fucking hermit. That's what we're gonna make Luke.
Yeah. That's nuts.
And then what about Luke? And then what about the Force? Luke was gonna say, fuck the Force. Damn near literally.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I feel it, man. Shit. And Disney taking over, probably not gonna make it any better, honestly. But we'll see what direction it goes in. Maybe it could be bad. Maybe we'll see a crossover of Star Wars and Marvel Universe in the future.
I hope not. I hope not.
That'll be nuts. That'll be really nuts. But
I don't know
yeah,
how it's gonna translate. Like, what is it? Star Wars gonna be able to cut through vibranium?
it's all about the multiverse, man. They open up them ripples, anything is possible. But if they keep buying shit, you'll see them buy Nickelodeon shows. See Timmy Turner jumping that bitch. That's fine. I don't know. But yeah, let's move on to this. Speaking of Marvel, let's move on to this Spider-Man review. Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home?
No Way Home.
I think it's No Way Home. You finally saw it, man. How you feeling about it? Let us know. I saw it a little bit ago and see if I can remember. Yeah, I kind of remember mostly the fine details of this long 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
It was long as fuck, yeah.
But yeah, give me some of your thoughts and some of your main plot points. We can go through this one real quick.
I liked it. I thought it was decent. I mean, I didn't think it was as good as everybody said it was gonna be, but I still thought it was good. Um, a little bit too like bro-ish with the whole bromance thing going on between them. That was I don't know, a little different, but I liked it. But how do I put it? Like it was just weird how you have like the villains working with them, and like the villains are like confused about what they want, and it's like I don't know. I think it was better off just not telling them that they would be dying. I mean, they kind of figured it out, but it's like if you'd have just like not told them, that'd have been a little bit more easier to deal with. But I don't know. I liked it. I liked the way they explained everything, like the way that Jamie Foxx's character was more like Jamie. Like he didn't really change, like go back and reprise his original role. He just kind of came and was like, "I'm Jamie Foxx, and we can just stay on that same nigga from the other movie because I'm not putting on that damn hair. I ain't putting no blue makeup, and I'm just gonna walk, have some yellow lightning, and I'm gonna talk a little bit normal, different." But they still mentioned that, like, how he used to be this timid, nice guy who wouldn't hurt anybody, and now he's this, this new person, Electro, whatever it was. So they were kind of like, it was because I thought it was gonna be, they were different versions of those movies, but they were actually stating no, they're actually exactly the same from those movies. It's just, they're a little different in here, but
different time periods, and they don't have the memory of what happened. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, but it was other than that, it was decent. Okay, it was like good action. I did not like the whole Aunt May thing. I thought that was uncalled for, but I guess if they don't have an uncle, what's his name is what is his uncle's name?
Ben.
Uncle Ben. I guess they got to do something with that. So
somebody had to deliver the line.
Yeah, exactly. But that was unnecessary, I thought.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I thought it was nice, and I like the fact they had all those characters. But then the end of it, it's like the way they did it. There is no way. Maybe there is. I don't know, but I don't see a way for them to have a Sinister Six movie. Because they're all from different realities, so they're not gonna get those same characters back together, or the same actors back together to make another movie about the Sinister Six. And because technically they're not in the same reality anymore. And so I don't know. It was good though. The ending of it, the way they had that whole bring Venom in, and then let's pull Venom back out, and then we're gonna just leave a little bit of the symbiote here. So I mean, that's their way of pulling Venom into it, I guess. But I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of lazy. And
did you see the Doctor Strange trailer at the very end?
Doctor Strange one at the very end?
There was a end credit scene, not a mid, but end credit scene. It showed like a actual trailer for Doctor Strange, the second one.
Oh what
the plot's gonna be about, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay,
I saw that.
Yeah, so that's interesting as well. But a lot of things, I like how they brought the other Spider-Mans in. I think that was kind of the hype moment of the movie when he opened up the portal. And it was he thought it was fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man. It ended up being Andrew Garfield when he jumped through the portal. Were you saw it in theaters?
No, fuck no. I saw it on fucking just bootleg.
Okay, yeah. So when I was in theater, that's when everybody kind of like started cheering. Is when he jumped through the portal and he pulled his mask off. That part was kind of funny though. I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is hella funny. He was the best, like the most comical Spider-Man of all of them.
He was,
shit he was doing. He jumped onto the roof, trying to prove that he's Spider-Man. He's like, "You got to do more." And he was like throwing bread at him. He was like, "What happened to the Spidey sense? It doesn't work for bread." Yeah, shit was kind of funny. And then this the whole report. I know you said it was kind of brilliant, but it was funny. Just how they were kind of like just reaching back and kind of explaining other things. They're like, "Where does your webs come from? They come from inside of them." He's like, "Is that the only place
Yeah.
the webs come from?"
I'm
He's like,
actually I'm happy they touched on that because like when they made that movie, that was the one thing everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Like, why did they decide to go that route when none of the comics? Well, there are some versions where he has like webs that come out of him, but most of them are just him with little capsules that he created himself. And for that movie, for some reason, they're like, "Yeah, let's make the webs come out of his hands." So
yeah,
the fact that they all touched on that, like, fuck, you got a different superpower than us. You actually got built-in webs.
yeah. I feel
So
that. Yeah, it was all pretty funny, and it was also funny how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man kind of talked about how he didn't really have any good villains in his movie. He kind of just admitting that his series of the movie kind of sucked, and he was hella depressed, and it
you're
kind of
talking about,
gave.
yeah. Last thing I remember, I was fighting against a big rhino, or what's it, a big guy in a rhino suit or something like that.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. He's talking about how he fought an alien once, talking about Venom. This was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And then
Yeah,
Tom Holland was like, yeah, I fought a purple alien in space or some
he's like,
shit.
he
He
went
was
to
like,
space.
yeah, he's like, well, I fought a big Russian in a rhino suit. And he was just talking about how lame his pretty much his villains were. And they kind of gave him the shit end of the stick. But he
They
did have a
did.
really good performance that I think is going to give him a chance to maybe play the Sony version of Spider-Man at least and just keep Tom Holland because he signed on for a bunch more movies for Spider-Man and Marvel. So maybe
Mm,
they can split it that way. They can both make money because Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was getting a lot of claim, for his acting in this movie.
mm.
Um, yeah, it was pretty dope. Me personally, I mean, I'm not like I said this probably multiple times. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, but his morality kind of kills me in this because once you catch these guys and do all the work of catching them, sending them back to their universes where they eventually die, you shouldn't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah,
bringing
at
too
all.
much morality onto yourself by worrying about what happens to them when they go back to their fucking universes, bro. How do you even know how it works there universally? How do you know if you save them, you're not changing the timeline yourself? Shit like that. He wasn't really worried about that shit. He just felt like he can
Yeah.
save these people.
Not to mention he was already fucking up everything from the get go. Like you have a damn a wizard. How about this scientist? A wizard doing a fucking spell to make everybody in the world forget that you're Spider Man, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna cut him off over and over again too. So
Yeah,
it's like the whole movie, he just like acts. He acts like it's funny because he's an annoying one. It's like the first Spider Man with Tobey Maguire was the nerdy one. The
Mhm.
second one was the funny one, and then the third one is just like the just childish, nervous, annoying one. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. A lot about it. It's like
Like a
I'm really ready
chihuahua.
for this. Yeah, this Spider-Man to grow up, and by the end of the movie, I think that's pretty much what happens. Like you said, he did fuck up that spell, which made everybody that does instead of making everybody forget that knows that he's Spider-Man, except for the select few people that he tried to exclude from that. He made everybody that did know Spider-Man actually come into his universe. So
Yeah,
that just fucked everything up for him. So that yeah, and me personally, I really do like me some Doctor Strange magic. So I think it was just
yeah,
fucked up what he was doing. He just fucked everything up, and then he stole the box and just trapped fucking Doctor Strange in his own shit, which he shouldn't have been able to do so easily, but he did.
yeah. No.
He was stuck in there for 12 hours, just fucking around, just hanging, and didn't really
But you
come
also got to
out.
remember he's Spider Man, so he can move a lot faster than normal people. So Doctor Strange probably like, I wouldn't be expecting somebody to move that quick with those reflexes.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. And I
So
guess it didn't really take much to create those portals and do some of the shit he was doing anyways, because Ned was able to create portals, even though he didn't really know how to
yeah,
do it. Uh,
yeah, that's true. I was expecting him to become like the Hobgoblin or something, but instead they made him, I don't know, like a fucking another sorcerer.
yeah, I
Because the
guess,
fact that he can make him without even knowing anything, so
yeah, he just thinks about shit. So I guess he has to have some sorcerer blood in him. Maybe he's
maybe.
destined for that, I guess. But yeah, didn't they mention in the, yeah, because one of the themes from the Spider-Man, they had to kill their best friend. And their best friends became bad guys. So that's probably why they're kind of hinting towards either Ned dying or becoming a bad guy. And he's like,
Mm.
well, shit. Like, I hope that don't happen because,
Well, Ned said he want the guy who plays it said he wants to become the Hobgoblin.
no, yeah, he probably will though. I mean, they're going to the next couple of movies are going to be Spider-Man in college, and they're probably going to be
Yeah,
the same three people.
because
Just
if I remember correctly, I think the Hobgoblin was brainwashed. He wasn't like he was not. The Hobgoblin is different than the other Green Goblins. The Hobgoblin was brainwashed into doing all that crazy shit. He wasn't
and
really bad.
and it doesn't really matter though in this one because they don't even know who he is. So he don't need to be brainwashed to just be hate Spider-Man. Something could happen, and Spider-Man could be the cause, and the hatred just grows, and he just fucking falls into hating him because he doesn't know he's Peter Parker, and they're not friends anyway. So it could be
Yeah.
something that happened that just makes him hate Spider-Man. He ain't even got to be brainwashed into it. But
Could
yeah,
be.
I think that actually does happen. And he's bald as hell. I wonder if the fucking hobgoblin that he's actually probably, shooting now. I don't know. Maybe not this soon, but I'm sure they're probably shooting
Because
soon.
yeah, I figure he is because he's losing a lot of weight. So
Right. Yeah.
and unless he has like cancer or something like that, they ain't talking to nobody about it. But I think he
And he
does work
ain't
out.
he's probably not allowed to take any other roles right now. They're gonna use up all his young looks until Spider-Man can run out. And then
Yeah,
after that you can go on and do something else.
because isn't he like damn near my age?
I'm probably Zendaya's fucking she's at least in her I don't know. She might be in her mid-20s now. So they have to start doing some college stuff because Tom Holland's, I'm sure, not in high school.
Nah. But I mean, the Asian dude, I'm pretty sure is older than me,
Yeah,
or he's my age, one of the two.
I'm gonna hit you with that. Damn. That Kevin Hart. Did you see that when he was with Don Cheadle? And
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah. I'm 56 years old. He's like, damn.
Damn.
Damn. No, like I didn't even say it like that. I said, damn. That shit was hilarious. But yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in there, but like people are actually saying it was like fucking better than the Avengers and shit. I ain't gonna put that much on it or nothing like that. But for the Spider-Man fans, I can see what you mean.
I think it was more nostalgia, a bunch of nostalgia.
Who they gonna get to play a live action Miles is what I want to know.
Yeah,
because you have to get Miles Morales.
Bring back Childish Gambino to be his uncle.
Not for that, yeah. But who's gonna be it? Not the dude from fucking. He's playing Raekwon and Wu Tang. He's too old now, I would say.
Yeah.
So who the fuck would play him is what I want to know. But maybe not though. Maybe they'll bring him out in college age.
Or maybe they'll just bring like a young black unknown star.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody. I mean, most likely it's gonna be somebody from the UK that we have never heard of. What they do, it ain't no good black actors in America apparently.
They should give us a fucking vote.
They should just go to Atlanta. Fuck it. You can find somebody out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that selling some water on the freeway or some shit.
What else happened in this that is kind of notable? I know the fans. I know you guys have been, the family. Excuse me, I'm gonna call y'all fans. Best of bias listeners out there. I know you guys got some points you probably want us to hit on that we're not hitting. How'd you feel about Norman Osborn's character? How he kind of tricked everybody, the whole time.
So I thought that was dope. He didn't really trick them. He was just kind of was he tricking them? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I thought he was split personalities.
He was, but he made it seem like he was there to actually get help. And when he was like, okay, I'm gonna save you guys. I'm not gonna have you guys die. He was part, like when they actually were let out, he plotted him and Jamie Foxx to actually kind of like get away and escape. And actually go against the plan, and he fucking tried to kill everybody. He was actually really crazy, not really reformed.
Oh yeah, but he was hella strong too. When he like went to the Green Goblin mode, he was like a fucking super soldier. I don't remember him being that. Was he that powerful in the original one? Was he?
I think some scenes where he's punching through the brick cinder block things.
Because I didn't know that. I thought that he just had like a split personality and a bunch of technology. I didn't know he was like actually like it made.
He went in that gas chamber. Remember, he tried to like enhance himself. He went in yeah, I remember that. He went in the gas chamber, and once he came out of that chamber, that's when his split personality started. And then he became super strong. He did.
I'll say because they displayed it a lot better in this one because he was going toe to toe with Spider-Man and whooping his ass. So
right, yeah, and they gave him his signature colors. He was wearing purple.
We already know Spider-Man. It was funny because they don't really explain the dynamic of like power in the MCU very well. But like we know super soldiers are like 10 times stronger than a regular human, which is that's Captain America or Winter Soldier. But we also know that I guess that would also be T'Challa because when he takes that fruit, he's about the same too. But when they were when Winter Soldier and them were fighting against Spider-Man in Civil War, Spider-Man caught the fucking metal hand like it was nothing, you know. So that's a super soldier and it's a fucking metal hand made out of whatever fuck that's just made out of. So I think it was made out of.
And I think spiders are able to hold some like certain times of their body weight as well. So that's why Spider-Man is able to do what he can. I'm sure he's in a power level that's pretty high.
If that's the case, then Ant-Man should be even stronger because Ant's supposed to be strong as fuck.
True. That's why he keeps the same punching strength as a human when he's hella small. Because ants are hella strong as little hands, which doesn't really make sense because it seems like they get hit further and shit when he's little than when he would punch him when he was like regular size.
I think it's because like when he's little, he's pinpointing all that like it's the same power as if he was big, but it's all to one little point. So in our reality, he should be punching holes through motherfuckers, really. Yeah, like he should be punching them and they fly. He should be like punching them and whatever part he punches, he just came the fuck in.
Yeah, well, that's the same with everybody with super speed as well. On this fucking podcast I listened to, they have the infinite mass punch. It's like you're going at a certain speed at somebody. It's like the fucking same pressure as a fucking atomic bomb, just punching the shit out of somebody. You know what I'm saying? But they always kind of nerf the Flash, Dash, anybody with super speed.
Well, the funny thing about that is like when they explain those type of powers, they don't really go into depth, but it's like, are these people indestructible too? Because to be able to run that fast, be able to run that fast, and just the pure like pressure it would take to push and propel yourself off the ground to go that fast, 1 foot would fucking shatter your damn femur. You know?
Right. And stopping.
Yeah. So, but like for some reason they able to do that and punch a motherfucker going at damn near light speed, and it's like I'm assuming that they have to also have the ability to be like super dense and highly indestructible because
they'll fucking shatter that shit.
Yeah. They should like mention that. Be like, oh yeah, the Flash. Yeah, he can run real fast. He's also like impervious to being hit because I mean he runs hella fast and he has to run hella fast, which means that he has to have a lot of fucking strength. So so really, they don't be adding the rest of them powers in there, you know?
Right. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's true. Because they try to sometimes saying that like they accelerated aging, and they have high ass metabolism. They have to be eating all the time, or else they threw those in there, but never if I can't stop, my ankles will break, or if when I take off I'll shatter my femur, and nothing like that.
Yeah,
they kept it on the surface. They kept it real surface level. But as far as Spider-Man goes, I also like this, just touching on stuff that we enjoyed. When Anthony Garfield Spider-Man saved Zendaya when she was falling like Emma Stone was in his Spider-Man when she hit her head and died.
Yeah, like his redemption.
Right,
yeah.
He was tearing up when he caught her. She was like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, but yeah, I felt for that Spider-Man, man. He said once his Gwen Stacy, was that her?
Yeah,
or whatever. When she died, she stopped pulling his punches, and he became a super dark Spider-Man, started actually probably killing and shit. And he was telling Tom Holland once he lost his aunt, don't become like that. You know what I'm saying? When you have the opportunity, even Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man was like, you're going to save him, right? You're going to give him the antidote, right? You're not going to kill him because he killed Aunt May. They wanted to make sure that he didn't go to that dark place that they went for a while. The shit that they went through when they were Spider-Man, or they are Spider-Man, but in their lives and their universes. So I thought that was really interesting. I've been talking away hella far from the mic. But yeah, that was interesting to me. I also thought it was cool, just for them to, I don't know, I kind of thought it was corny how they were able to get those antidotes.
Yeah, hella quick.
How the fuck do you know how to make all these motherfuckers?
Well, also one thing is that they never really touch too much on the fact that this Peter Parker is supposed to be a genius. Like all the
Right.
other ones, they kind of like, well, they kind of mentioned that with the very first one, they definitely did. And then with the second one, I don't really remember if they did with the Andrew Garfield guys. If they like pointed out that he was a genius,
A little bit.
but this one they really haven't touched on it that much at all, other than him making some fucking some computers from like junk that he's picked up at the garbage and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't really touched on him being a genius, especially with a show like with the Avengers having like the what you call it, Tony Stark and the Incredible Hulk dude. That's two geniuses right there. So you would imagine that Peter Parker's supposed to be like on genius level too.
And
Intellect.
Zuri
Who?
from Black Panther.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. He hasn't been in a room with her yet, but yeah, there you go. So you would at least like with all these super intellectual people that are in the MCU, like you would think they would like Peter Parker is known to be very intelligent. They haven't really portrayed that. Matter of fact, this one seems very unintelligent.
Yeah. Emotionally, especially. Just touching on some plot holes here. We brought everybody in the universe that actually knew who Peter Parker was, right? Why did Electro not know that Peter Parker was white? So why was he there in the first place?
That means how did he know who Peter Parker was? Yeah,
Exactly. She shouldn't have been there.
Exactly.
He said, I thought he was black. Come on now.
But no, but he did know who what you call it was. Because remember if you watched the movie before he became Electro, he was friends with Peter Parker. Remember?
Oh, he didn't know who Peter Parker was.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just thought that Spider-Man was black.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, good catch. And also, I thought it was interesting. The scene where he got to fight Green Goblin, Norman Osborn 101, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and you saw him actually whooping the shit out of Norman Osborn. He was just sitting there smiling, and he was not holding his punches at all. I thought he was gonna knock his head off, honestly. And then he dragged that glider over there, and was about to stab him with it. And then he picked that shit up, and Tobey Maguire caught that shit. He's looking at him eye to eye, like, man, I told you, you gotta heal him. Don't become that man. And he gets stabbed from behind by Norman Osborn. I thought that man was dead. I thought he was gonna die.
Yep, that's what I thought
But
too.
then they fucking throw him the antidote and he stabs him in the neck. First of all, how hard that nigga stabbed him in the neck, he would have died. He stabbed him in the neck hella hard. Chink, and then pressed that antidote in him, and then he turned back into dormant Norman Osborn. And Tobey Maguire actually lives, just kind of like, just says it kind of hurts, but I guess.
But Aunt May dies.
Yeah, May does die from getting stabbed. I guess, they didn't really, did she get stabbed or just hit with the glider?
She hit with the glider, but that glider stabs you. It has like fucking the blades on the front of it.
Okay, so this didn't show any impact holes.
And that shit hit her hella hard too. So
It did.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. I'm surprised she got the fuck up. So kudos to her.
Oh, kudos to her. But all in all, they did the spell again. Doctor Strange made everybody forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Just so he thought that everybody would have a better life. He thought he kind of like held everybody back and ruined everybody's life by them knowing that he was Spider-Man. So he actually became the Spider-Man we all know and love at the end. He got his own apartment in New York, and he's going off to college. Probably going to go to where they all tried to get into.
But they made it where they didn't know who he was in general. It wasn't they didn't know who Spider-Man was.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I meant to say. They didn't know who Peter Parker was at all. So everybody, that's the kind of way it should be as him and Spider-Man. So he has nobody holding him back from, getting,
that would fucking suck.
But I mean, that's how superhero life has to be.
Yeah, fuck that. Saving everybody's life and getting none of the benefits because nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Well, you can probably do it eventually, but now it's like, if they do find out, it's like they don't have an Aunt May to go kill, nobody to kidnap.
Yeah, that's good, but I think over time I'd have resentment built up. I couldn't go to a store and somebody cut me in line and talk shit to me, and I'm fucking Spider-Man. I know that I can crush his head with my hand. I'm I'll probably crush his head with my hand.
I mean, shit, fuck it. You got redemption now. Now you can come out as Spider-Man your own way. Shit, he's like, okay, somebody at the grocery store cut you in line. You have to slap a bitch one time. I'm Spider-Man. I'm sorry. This guy was disrespecting me. I just had to save somebody around the corner. I had a bad day. I'm giving the Kanye excuse. I just dropped 2 songs, but that blue medical mask didn't stop him from that knockout. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I think
if I was Spider-Man, I'd have 2 different suits. I'd have one suit for me being the hero, and then one suit for me to make money, because I'd be robbing motherfuckers. So,
and I definitely have
you know what?
I'd have a GoFundMe as Spider-Man.
I would just be robbing motherfuckers. I would just I would be a super villain and a superhero. It was
just be a little stealthy in a black suit and just be robbing people.
I'd have a whole different identity. They'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I hope Spider-Man can come save us from, like, I don't know, Black Knight.
There's this guy named Cricket Soldier running around these heroic books. Yeah. I don't know.
He has similar powers to you. You always get there late though. Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I feel it. But all in all, where would you rank this Spider-Man out of all the Spider-Man?
I mean, yes, it's probably better than all of them.
Yeah, I feel that. I guess it's not really that hard, because you kind of accumulate all those into one, and all the best things out of these 3 Spider-Mans, and just kind of throw them all in one and give it a good send-off. And I'm ready to see him in college, man, get into some real life shenanigans, maybe throw some, some curse words in there, maybe show a little gore. Probably not, never do that to Spider-Man, probably not, but he has to grow older, and fucking realistically, older people say bad words, God damn it. So, I don't know. Yeah. Well, can we give it a number? Let's rate it.
Wait a minute, a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10, yeah. Out of, like, maybe the Marvel movies.
A 7.
7. 7, yeah. I'll give it an 8 personally, just because that moment when they all sing together and they started fighting together, synchronized, and they met up on that Statue of Liberty. That shit was kind of clean. Oh yeah, how about them fucking up the cap shield they're adding to the Statue of Liberty? They're like, fuck that. That's funny. But anyways,
this was gonna look stupid anyways. So.
Yeah, it would look stupid. They're replacing the torch with the shield, which was kind of weird. But all in all, it's setting up to, I guess. Oh yeah, one more thing. Remember when he was like, "I'm in the Avengers. I was in this cool group called the Avengers." He said, "Oh, that's cool. Who are they?" That shit is hella funny. So, an Avenger? What is that? But yeah, it was good. It was a lot of laughs in it, a lot of nostalgia. Like, hopefully, either I'm sure Tobey Maguire is not going to do anything else Spider-Man related, but hopefully Andrew Garfield, like I said, can get a role maybe in Sony versus as the Sony versus Spider-Man, opposed to letting Tom Holland do his thing out here in the MCU. But yeah, man, this has been part 1 of episode 100. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating the prosperity of the Best of Bias podcast. It's the point where I like to let them know where to find you at. AKA, well, are you going to be back for this next segment? We can do Anime Kumite. We'll do that last. The next segment, we're probably going to get into some sports, because there's a lot of playoff talk we got to talk about in some of these playoffs. But then after that, we'll probably get into some Anime Kumite. And we're going to really take time to get these characters and do some research for you. So it will be out, and we will throw that in here, and we will have a good battle on our hands. We won't get Deshaun to come out of retirement and judge this shit, or actually rep a character so I can be judged or some shit, because he's been talking about getting back on here. He needs to do, he needs to get out here, and maybe we can. He's like a carpenter now, so maybe we can get like a wood related character for him to rep.
Woody.
That'd be dope. But plenty more to come in this 100th episode. It's gonna be a long one, folks, so get you some food, tell your friends, and this video, if you want to watch it with your friends too, throw that on and celebrate the 100th episode with us. But AKA, we'll see you at part 3, and during the Anime Kumite, that's where you can let them know where to find you at. But for now, we're going to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get into some of this sports talk. We'll have Sean on here and some other special guests. I'll try to get John on here. You never know who's gonna pop in. Plenty guests, plenty more in this 100th episode. You know what I mean? Best of bias, and also new hats, new patches coming soon. I just put in my order for some new designs, so it's still available. Still got a bunch of dad hats, so hit me up. We'll probably plug those in during the commercials here, so we can show you where to get it. A bunch of new stuff from Beautiful Struggle as well. So 100th episode, like I said, aka we'll see you soon. We'll see you very soon. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.